Hello, my lovely friends. Right, so I know not too long ago I did a video showing alcohol inks and I wasn't that great with it. So I'm going to have another go. This time I'm going to be using the alcohol lift ink to lift from my Yupo paper and put onto a piece of card. So alcohol lift ink it is. I've selected a couple of colours to use. I've got citrus, I've got purple twilight and sailboat blue. Not sure how they're going to blend, but I think they're colours that should mix quite well. Right, I have here also some alcohol blending solution that helps to get your ink moving. You really do need to have that. And I've got a little bit of that in this little bottle because it's got a finer needle point, so I can be a bit finer with it. So that's the solutions and stuffs. So for using the alcohol lift ink, I have my brayer. That's to lift the ink from my Yupo onto my card. Also, I'll be stamping afterwards because once you've got that onto card, I did some last week. I was playing around with a few last week and I can show you what I did. These are just some pieces that I was messing about with, giving it a try, because I've never done the lift thingy before. I've never tried the lift technique before. So I did make some nice pieces of card. These are all going to be used in the future. That one's got a little bit of gold in it. So that's something that I did before. So I'm going to have another go today. So when once I've done that, once I've transferred it to my piece of card, I'll be stamping onto it. And VersaFine Clay, you can stamp onto it with that. You try and stamp onto Yupo paper, it's really difficult because it's, I don't know, just nothing seems to mix well with the ink. I think you can use perhaps the stays on or some of the more permanent inks, but I don't like it. I don't like the effect you get from it. So I'm going to lift the ink from that onto a piece of card so that I can stamp with my VersaFine Clay. And the stamp I want to use, yes, that looks like a very mucky piece of Yupo paper because it is. Yupo paper, you can use it when you've finished with all your colours on it. You can completely wipe it clean with isopropyl alcohol. So you can completely clean it and you can reuse it, which I will do. I'm hoping to use this stamp, depending on how the colours turn out. I can try and keep it light in the middle. We'll see where it goes, but I may end up using a different stamp, but that's from the Christmas selection of pink inks. Quite new stamps, these ones, Quiet Grace, so that's what I want to be using. That's my piece of card. Now I will be cutting this down after I've transferred the ink to that. I will cut that down to fit this. So I have an A5 card, 15 by 21 centimetres. The matte layout is 13.5 by 19.5 centimetres. So when I do cut this down, it'll be 13 by 19. So, right, this is where we get messy. So I have my Yupo paper. Before I put my ink down, I think I'm going to smear a bit of, actually no I'm not, I was going to say put some blending solution down first, but I'm not going to, forget that. Right, so let's have a look then. Colours, we'll start with a light one. Let's just get all the tops off so I can. Now what I did last time, I was using a handheld blowy, like a squeezy thing to blow air. This time I've put myself a gadget and I really like it. It does tend to blow everything everywhere, but this is it's an air tool. It's what's known as an air dryer, actually, or whatever, but it's an air tool and it blows air. It will blow everything everywhere if you're not careful. So I've got it on the lowest setting. This I picked up from Amazon. It were about 30 quid. It's got the battery encased inside there. You can charge it, and like I say, you can change the speeds. It comes with a few nozzles and a charging cable for it as well. So that's what I'm going to use to blow my ink around, which should be easier than trying to do it with that squeezy air tool thing that I had before. Right, so I'm going to start off. I'm going to do one colour at a time, I think, with this. So I'm just going to lay down some ink. And I'm going to add some blending solution. There's no rhyme or reason to this, just go with. And I'm going to blow that around. It will go everywhere. But you get those lovely patterns. And you've got quite a lot of waste as well, but you do get those lovely patterns. Okay, so while that's blowing it, it'll also dry it off a bit. Bear in mind, I will be adding other colours on top of that. Let's go with some of this green as well. Let me just remove that before I get it on my jumper. Let's try some blue. So I want to try and keep that area there quite light. I mean, I'll lighten it up after with blending solution, probably. Let's go blue. Again, with the blending solution. Try and put it where you've put the ink. It is purely for moving help to move the ink around a bit. Let's get that blowing. Where it joins, you get that real thick, messy bit, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to try and blend that bit out. That's running out. I'll have to use my big one in a minute. So you can lighten it by adding solution as well. Now, I don't know if colours look lovely blended together. Not very Christmassy, I don't suppose, but now I'm going to have a go with some of this purple, but not too much. Let's get the big one. I've emptied that little one already. Mix the colours in. That's it. I have to be careful here because I don't want to blow it onto my jumper. So you get that gorgeous mixture of colours. I am going to try and lighten that in the middle, so I am going to put some blending solution around there and see where it takes me. Oh no, I like that. Just blowing it from the centre, it's made all them colours spray out to the middle there. That is gorgeous, I love that. Make sure that's dry. What do you think to that? Is that impressive or what? I love that. Right. Let me just put all my tops back on before I knock something over. Good practice to do it as you're going along, I suppose, but here we are, doing it later. Right, so now, before I go any further, I'm just going to move that just for a moment. Oh, look what it's done on the other side as well. Got pattern on the other side as well. It's made a nice frame. Right, I have some isopropyl alcohol in a spray bottle right here. IPA. Right, and I'm going to spray that on my desk. And this will wipe up. It seems a bit of a shame really, don't it? You can pop it up with some paper or something, but maybe that's what I should do. But not this time. So I'm just going to clean that up. I've dried it on quite solidly with me blower. So you see what I mean by using that blower, instead of getting them silly little streaks like when you're blowing through a straw, which I say silly, that, you know, it's nice when that's the effect you want, but that's not what I wanted for this. So I did treat myself to my little gadget, and I'm very happy with it. Right, that's better than it was. That'll do for now. So now what I want to do is, I think I'm going to do it from that way up because I want this bit to be really, really clear. Right, so the alcohol lift ink. Right, all you do for this, I'm going to put it on the skew because I just work better that way. You just put a line of it along the top of your paper. Generous line. And you do need to work fairly quick with this. So now I'm going to brayer that all over my paper. And then you get your card and you lay it down on top. Oh, why did I know the cat was going to appear? As soon as I stop bloody recording, here she comes. You'll have to wait, cat. Go and sort yourself out. Right, that's just to make sure I've got it all grasped it. There you go. So that is, bear in mind where you've got your line, that will mark your paper. So like I say, I'm going to cut this down anyway, so I didn't mind that. That's why I turned it around. So that has now transferred that from there. Now that still looks really nice, and you can still use that. Or you can cover it in isopropyl and you can clean it for another time. I'm going to leave that as it is for now. And that's that with all the nasty things, you know, the solutions and things. That's that out of the way. I do need to clean my desk because I don't want to get anything on my card. So again, isopropyl alcohol. You can use your blending solution to clean with, but for me that's isopropyl alcohol is really cheap. Your blending solution isn't so cheap, especially not if you buy the Ranger one. You can get other ones. If you look on Amazon, you can get cheaper ones, but you know, we know what's best, don't we? Right, that's clean enough for now. So that is my pattern, and I think that's gorgeous actually. That's perfect for what I want. I wasn't expecting that to happen. So I'm going to cut this down now to 13. Let's just take that edge off. I want it to be 13 by, I want to try and keep that, well, where's my stamp? Let's try and keep that as central as we can to her face. So, maybe that way up then, because it's a bit lighter there, isn't it? Yeah, perfect. So yeah, that's right. I'll cut this end off then, 13. Or maybe I should stamp her out first and then decide where I'm going to cut. I think that's what I'll do actually. I'll stamp the image and then I'll decide where I want to cut. Otherwise I'll cut it out, it might not line up. And you can always keep those bits for something else, bookmark or whatever else. I shan't, but right, so let's get going with this. Why these magnets when they snap on your fingers. Look out on her scratch post. Good girl, Jessie. What are you doing, sweetie? So I'm thinking to have that so that the lady herself and the baby are going to be in the light area, because I think that would look really nice. And not even going to need to add much colour to this, really not, because it's pretty enough as it is. Yeah, right bang in the middle. Right bang in the middle, right there. I think just seem a waste to cut the bits off the edge, but we've got to do what we've got to do. We do what we need. You put that over there. Stop that pulling up. A bit too near. That's it. Right, versifying Claire. Nocturne. I'll try and get plenty of ink on it. What I have found when using alcohol ink transferred to a piece of card, when it comes to painting, it seems to really absorb your paint quick, more than normal. It really does. Let's see what we've got there. Oh, perfect. Beautiful. Well, that's absolutely gorgeous. I will add some colour, but I don't want to put in a lot of colour. I want to keep it keep the greens, because Christmassy colours. Clean off my stamp. Do love me pink ink stamps. It's just, you just can't go wrong with these. Size wise, design wise, anything wise, perfect. Don't know where we'd be without our Cather and Mel making these gorgeous stamps. So glad we've got them back again. Right, so that can all come off. I do love that background. I've quite amazed myself there. Right, so let's take that out of the way. Again, 13, right, so I want to cut it so it's 13 by, I'm going to go there. It does seem like I'm cutting a lot off, doesn't it? Yeah, that's going to be really small actually. Maybe I should have done, what's it, a bit bigger. Chop a bit off the bottom. Might lose a little bit, but never mind. I want it to really stand out anyway. Right, 13. Yeah, you're losing all that lovely pattern. Oh, what have I done? No, I've cut it the wrong way. This way should have been 13. I thought it was getting shorter and shorter, because I have to stick it back on. Right, this way is supposed to be 13. 13 by 19. I wonder to myself, why is it so bloody small? Right, let's. I'm gonna have to glue them back on now, aren't I? I'm gonna have to glue my bits back on to make it 19. Right, let's just cut these ones down. Let's put this back in. It's got to piece this back together now, haven't I? What an idiot. Oh, we live and learn. We live and we learn. How did it go? Oh, crikey. That's not right, is it? I think that went down there. Where's the... got some more somewhere. Where's the bottom of her gown? Oh dear. Yep, this is going to be a patchwork. You know what? You know, sometimes we make these errors, don't we? And we just have to go with, the flow. Yeah, so that's going to go there. And that will go on there. Crikey, Ange, what you bloody doing? Let's get me tape. That bit will do for now. And I've got to piece that back onto there now. But it just goes to show that, you know, sometimes our fails are not a disaster. Not necessarily a disaster. Yeah, we need to go all the way along that. Sorry folks, I didn't expect this to be happening. Obviously I haven't got my thinking head on. That'd have been in practice, that's what it is, not getting in here often enough. Right, so you'd never know, would you really? And then this obviously goes up there. Right, where's my tape? Oh dear, I wasn't expecting to have to do this. Sorry my lovely. You are very patient. But everything's fixable. If it means putting a bit of ribbon across or something like that, then now look, so be it. Oh, for goodness sake, it's going to be one of them days. Shall I just stop and start all over again? No, let's go with it. Let's go with it. Right, line that up to the exact. Shame about that. Right, how big's that now? Is that 19? No, it's only 16. Let's get rid of them little snippy bits there. Let's do that a bit nearer again. I'm not liking how that's stuck to that. Oh, right, up in place. Right, up into place, and then with this on it, would that bring it to 19? 18. Oh, I'm not sticking any more on. I'm not. Then that would fit there like that. Right, okay. I'm going to re-stick this one, I think. This one's not. I was using older pieces. I don't see pre-used. I did just hold it in place for the time being, but I'm not completely happy with it. It's got to be right tight up against itself. All this faffing about, I am sorry people. But I've got such a nice background, I really don't want to have to start that again. Yeah, we live and learn. What an idiot though. Honestly. How stupid was I for doing that? Line that up to there, that one goes up to there, tight up against that edge. Yeah, you'd never know, would you? You'd barely ever know. Once it's stuck down on my card, you'll never know. I hope. So slightly smaller than I wanted it to be, but never mind. I'm not sticking any more on, it will look hideous. Cut that off there. And cut that off there. Right, so we now have our 13 by supposedly 19. It's 13 by 18, but never mind. Get rid of them little pieces, I'm not going to need those. But the main thing is we've got our picture back. So, right then. I'm going to put some paint on here. Where's my palette? I've already got paint in my palette. As always, I'll be using up some of this manky stuff in it. Greens, I want greens. Greens and golds, I think I would be very nice to paint her gown. But not too dark a green. Oh, that's a nice bluey green, isn't it? That'll be a lovely colour. So I'm going to do this. I don't want to paint everything. So let's bring that, try and do it delicately around there. And this stamp doesn't have to be Christmas either. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, yeah, it depicts Mary, I suppose, but it doesn't have to be a Christmassy one. I mean, it is called Mother at the end of the day. So there's her headgear. It's a mixture of greens. This is that blue. I'm sure it seeps through there. Oops, I put them in. I'm having a good day today, am I? Just everything I do is a disaster today. I think maybe I shouldn't have started today. I should have waited a day. Mind you, I've been waiting a few days as it is, so to get stuff done. Right. Okay. A bit more green to that. That would be this part here, I believe, of her sleeves. And that's where I'm going to anyway. And her gown. Make a bit of that blue. A little bit darker. Just there. And I'm just going to let that just run into the card there. Just to no end. There you go. I think that's got that, and a little bit there as well. So that's her gown going over. So I think we'll have a little bit of pink. Oh, a little bit of pink left in there, tiny. Oh yeah, tiny bit of fleshy colour. Oh, darker than I thought it was on top of that. Slight bit of green on her face there, never mind. And the babe as well. Now the rest of her gown, I think I'm going to do it in a nice light blue. I think I'm going to use a smaller brush. So keep that quite watery. So I wanted to keep the blues and greens, and that's exactly what we got. And that's the baby's bit there. So, and then that would come down out there, wouldn't it? So we've still got the greens, the pink with their faces, to blend in with that blue, green and yellows and purplesy colours there. I think that would be quite nice. Oh, better do her hands, hadn't I? She has no hands. She has no hands. Right. Like that. A little bit of darker blue in some of these places. Just to show the shadows are there. That's it. And the baby, we'll do the baby. I'm just going to use what's in my palette. We'll use this purpley colour. So it just sucks it off your brush. Once you've had alcohol ink on here, it really does. It just pulls it right off your brush. Normally my paint goes a long way, but not on this. There's the baby done. Darker purple right around her by her hand to show a bit of shadowing just there as well, and in there. like that. And then I think that, I don't know what to do with all that, whether to do it in colours or white. Perhaps I should just do it all in blue. Keeping those little bits at the around her cuffs and around her headdress, because I want to do put a bit of gold on that. And maybe on some of the patterns, I don't know. See what I mean? It just takes the paint straight off my brush. Barely gives me time to get my colour down. Right, I'm going to do the same with the straps on her arm, I think. Oh, I don't know. Let's do it all blue. I can add some little gold details, can't I? Blue shading seems to have disappeared. That's it. Do that bit as well. I know that's on her gown, but it's like a different shade of green, isn't it? So that's that. Each bit in between. It's like a flower around her arms. And her headdress back to green. Use a smaller brush again. So you get the gist of where we're at. So that looks like it's nice. We can either do that in white or we can do it in gold. Do that bit a little bit darker. Okay, so I might put some darker bits here and there. Not with that brush though. Let's use this dark green. Try and make the illusion of shadows if you had a bit of darker colour to it. That would be lighter up there, so we'll go dark there. Lighter at the top. The colours are all blending in, I can't see where it's dark. Okay, so we're sticking with the colours in tow anyway. Right, so now I'm going to do her hair in this orangey brown colour I've got up here. She wouldn't be red, she'd be dark, but there you go. I wasn't planning on painting the whole thing, but I think I need to make the features stand out. But the main thing was to show you how to do the alcohol lift. We will add some white highlights to her hair as well. But we'll do that, put all that in later. Right, so there's all that. I think we'll have a bit more blue on her cuff bits. Okay, now I have here, right, this is the Pink Ink Stardust mica powders treasure chest gold. It's beautiful. And I have some already mixed up in this little pot with some water and a little bit of gum just to help it to stick. And it will stick. It will stick. If you just add water, it will stick to your paper still. But I've always used a little bit of gum with mine. So let's go around here. That is very watery. I've not mixed that up very well, have I? Let's have a look. Yep. That's it, lush gold. I'll make my brush go all thick now. See how beautiful it paints. You can paint so well with that stuff. And all the mica colours are gorgeous in the Pink Ink range. They're all lovely. In that Stardust range. My brush has gone all rubbish now. I've spread all my brush bristles out. I need to get a finer brush. See if I can put a bit more in down here. For her halo. And I'm also going to put a bit on her and edge the gown with it. Bloody brush has gone manky now. Yeah, I think today I should have just stayed in blooming bed. May as well just paint that as well. Strip, I don't know, maybe it's painting it on. I don't think I've got another fine brush. I'm just dotting it. To look like it's got some texture. Same round here. And the same on the babies. Swaddling. And around the sleeves. You've got to have some golden sparkle, especially at Christmas time. And again on the edge of, following the edge of her gown. You hardly know I pieced that together, would you really? I think that's it for that. Put a little bit, I got another. What's happened to my brush? It's gone all thick and horrible. That's better. Put a bit in these stars. Don't have to go mad, just basic shape. That's it. And I think we're about there with that. Little dot here and there. Little sparkles around her. We could do all these as well, I guess. I just love how the alcohol ink spread outwards. I'll learn from that one, just blow it, aim the blower right in the middle and it just goes pshoo, all out into the middle. Lovely. And then I'll do them little straps there. And I think we're about there, peeps. Now, what do you think to that? I will put a little bit of white on here and there in a minute as well. So looking now, so I've kept all the colours in with the inks I've used, the green, the blue and the purple. Okay, so I'm not going to use my white pen. I'm going to use my bleed proof white. I've been using this stuff for years. I don't intend on changing it now. I can use my pen sometimes, but I just don't get as good a, you don't get as good a coverage as you do with this. So much easier putting it on with a fine brush. Right, so a little bit on her eyes. Just a bit to highlight her face and her neck. We'll put a few little bits in her hair to make it look shiny. Get such fine lines with this brush when it's behaving. It's great. And that would all be dark down there, so I'm going to have a bit going up there. And round to there. And there'll be a bit around there. Some off her shoulder. And then I'm going to do some of these patterns on here as well, I think. You'll have to colour it in perfect. Just to indicate there's something there. Like that. Little hearts, little dots. And I think we're about there. We'll just do them little white bits around her neck. A bit there. And I think job's a good one. That's it. I think that's all I'm going to do as far as her gown is concerned. I think I've got enough in here for this. Put a tiny bit of white on each of these little spikes. Although I'm beginning to think maybe I shouldn't. I think that's done the job. Right there, so now I've got to stick that down with the glue. Actually, that's what I should have done, innit? I should have glued them down. Yeah, well, while it's together. Oh, sorry people, we've lost the camera. I'm going to have to reset this whole jig up. Are we still there? We good? Yep. Sorry about that. Everything's a disaster today, isn't it? Oh dear, nothing's gone right today. It's definitely one of them. And I was just about to grab me, what's it? I think we'll take a bit more off them edges, just to make it so it's got the same border all the way around. What was I, a centimetre more, weren't I? So half a centimetre off each side. So we've got 13, 12 and a half, 12. We're now 12 by 18. Then that will look better. I'll have to reset my jig up, it's just not, it's not holding well. That will go on there like that. I shan't glue it because I want to let it dry. It'll flatten out a bit more. As it dries, it'll flatten out. So I will leave it like that for now because it has absorbed quite a lot of water. So what do you think, peeps? I think that's really nice. Okay. Thank you for watching. I don't even know if this is still recording. I think it is. Yeah, we're still recording. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a go with the blending, what is it called? The alcohol lift ink. With your alcohol inks. I'll give it a go. It's pretty cool what it does, how it lifts it and puts it onto your paper. And like I said, with the Yupo, with what's left on that, I could use that as it is. I could probably lift it again even as well. But yeah, that's what you get from your Yupo shiny plastic paper. You can get a frame on the other side, look. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little demo. I enjoyed doing it, even despite all the disasters that's happened today. But yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.